Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. It's time to get ready for round 15 in the 2020 series manufactured series on Gran Turismo Sport. Now we are racing at Dragon Trail Gardens Reverse for 18 laps, and we're going in to have a Group 3 category we'll be getting started out for today. So this will might have 2 tire ratings because we're about to be going in onto the minimum tire rating we'll be choosing with the racing hard compound tires by checking the race details. Balance of performance regulations will be all set automatically because this will might have a very good suitable way for having a good clean race to be in the reverse course layout, because there's going to be a lot of corners that we had to take a good ways to make a good perfection to achieve. So before enjoying watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some more videos if you like. Feel free to enjoy it anytime you want for the entertainment. Now it's time to get ready to start the race, and let's begin. Round 15 of the 2020 series manufactured series is about to begin, and I hope everybody is about to get ready to go for taking on the reverse course layout of Dragon Trail Gardens. People 505 takes first place in the Alfa Romeo 4C, and here's Wanna Killer in second place in the Porsche 911 RSR. Third place is Turbo_Chaplin in the original livery of the Porsche 911 RSR. And here's X-Ghost 413X in 4th place in the Honda NSX Group 3. EF_Racer takes 5th place in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3. Gnome Pollux is now taking 6th place in the Subaru WRX Group 3. And here's myself in 7th place with the UDRS Insportec livery of the Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept. Jimmy Jim is now taking 8th place with the Dodge Viper SRT GT3R. And here's Yard Jockey in 9th place in the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3. Shotgun Chaz is now taking 10th place in the Aston Martin DBR9 GT1. And here's 308281 in 11th place in the Chevrolet Corvette C7 Group 3. Paul Lorganar 89 is now taking 12th place in the GT5 Citroen Group 3. Short_Peace is now taking 13th place in the Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept. Ace_Speed1 takes 14th place in the Toyota FT1 Vision GT Group 3. ADC_Gameplay is now taking 15th place in the DBR9 GT1. And here's KB in 16th place in the Nissan GTR. Mac Morg 9501 takes 17th place in the Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept. A Felix the Cat 95 takes 18th place in the Mercedes-Benz. Firefox Knight is now taking 19th place in the Jaguar F-Type. And last place is Simply_Almazing is about to be going in with his Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept. Everybody is about to get ready to go, because I know that things will be getting started out to challenge ourselves by dealing a lot of corners before we're about to be taking on the first turn. We'll be at the blind corner. Commence the rolling starts, and let this be the moment by having a good clean race out there, folks. Gotta make sure to have a good perfect turn whenever we have to do what matters the most. And here we go. 3 seconds on the clock until we're about to be hitting the green light for go, and we are underway for having the 15 round in the 2020 series manufactured series is about to begin underway. Make sure turn 1 is going to be an important technique turn out there, so it's just going to give some open space out there for many drivers. So now I'm going in by taking the 7th place at the go. This is going to be having a fierce chase to be reached up for only 6 drivers. We'll be taking home the gold whenever it's going to be reached up at the finish line. And here comes turn 2. This is going to get a little bit risky, so make sure keep it slow and steady to be at the left turn. Gonna have to stay safe. Gonna have that motion sensitivity for Insportec of the UDRS and the Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept, as definitely might have that kind of ability. We'll have to avoid getting a little bit more outside turns. Now coming in onto Sector 2, bypassing onto Sector 1. Now I'm about to be going in to have 11th place since many drivers overtake my position. And here comes the first hairpin. This is going to be having that right turn to be at the position, and it looks like this is going to be having a good, interesting battle. Two Chevy Corvettes versus a single Dodge Viper and a GT by Citroen is about to be going in, and that will might bring the RX Vision GT3 concept is about to be going in by taking the action. Passing on to sector 3, here comes the corkscrew onto the right turn before taking the left, and this is going to have that very good flying skills to be at that right turn after that corner ends. Coming in onto that final corner, make that best position to be doing the outside before coming into the inside. Just going to take that good slipstream to reach up onto 308281 in the Chevy Corvette C7. This is definitely might be having that fierce livery that he just put up on it, so he's just always going to be used it for the whole season. Press forward by taking the second lap, and oh man, looks like there goes folks. We just have 3 drivers just barely collided by losing a lot of grip at turn 1 at the flying corner. So that one might bring Paulo GNR 89 is about to be having that 1 second penalty. Gotta make sure to be very careful, try not to force any vehicle to be off the track. I hope I could probably have to get back onto the same position in no time. This is gonna need that good rush out there for Massa whenever it's gonna need to take that action. It looks like 6th place driver Gnome Pollock is now going to have to take well-guarded defense with his Subaru WRX Group 3 from GT5 Citroen race car. He's going to be getting a little bit more turns to be coming in onto the hairpin. This will might have that chance. We'll have to buy some time out there for the Subaru before Citroen will be crossing the penalty line. It looks like Swanna Killer has just took the first set of the lap time for only 1 minute and 39.521 seconds. He did pretty good out there when he's in the lead, and that one might bring P-Ball 505 in the Alfa Romeo is going into 2nd place. Turbo_ Chaplin is going to have to take 3rd place, so it looks like the top 3 drivers are in the chase to reach up for only the 1st place driver will be moving on at the end of the 2nd lap before taking on the dirt lap. Look at them go. They're going in by having a good rush of the chase before taking on for the 1st corner to be at the flying turn. I hope everything turns out perfectly. No one else won't get any mistakes by preventing a loss of a grip. And comes right back in for UDRS Insportec in the Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept will be staying on in 7th place to be at the start of lap number 1. Going closer to catch up onto Gnome Pollock in the Subaru WRX Group 3. Gonna have to take turn 2. Gonna make that perfect left turn to use the apex. Just avoid the outside whenever you see that orange line. That's going to be the only weak spot, so we have to be very careful and exercise caution. Citroen is about to be coming in to pass my position. Just going to pass on to sector 2. Make that right turn before coming into the left position onto that corner. Very good and pretty good, excellent to have that good speed and handling to be at the good mobility position. So I hope I could probably have to reach up to the top 5 drivers in no time. This will might take the patience. And here's once again for having a new set of a fastest lap time for Swanna Killer, 1 minute and 33.578 seconds. He can probably have to stay well defended to take on the glory, or any drivers like P-Ball 505 could probably have to take the chance to catch up to him. So I hope this is definitely might be pretty good for having a mid-engine Group 3 category. Will be doing the best job for having a good part of a competition. I hope this is going to have to take that same lap time out there for Swanna Killer. He's always going forward for having a best running streak for having his fastest lap time to be shown to be having a good time to be in this racing HUD. Coming forward by taking the 4th lap, just going to make a good right turn position. Just going to need to get a little bit more close in to reach up onto Gnome Pollock in the Subaru WRX Group 3 for only 3.5 seconds. Gonna have to close in for only a little bit. This is definitely might be dealing some incoming drivers from behind. Take turn 2 before having turn 3 will be coming in before reached up at the end of sector 1. Pretty good out there to see it, how every speed could probably have to perform it. Coming in onto sector 2, this is definitely might be going well to see how the 5th place driver X Ghost 413X in the Honda NSX is about to be going in to stay well guarded for having his 5th place position to be in the rightful spots until Subaru will be catches up to him. This is definitely might be pretty good to see how 2 modern JDM cars will be taking a good battle in the GT3 category to see how they can do it. But this is definitely might be impressive to see how an MR and an FR has definitely might be goes in for having a different battles to see it. So now they're about to be coming in to take that final corner. I hope this is definitely might be good to see how Gnome Pollux is now going to have to catch up onto Honda. Take that full speed and have that full straight before taking on the next lap. But it's going to be lap number 5. Only going to have to take for only a few strategy skills before it's going to have to take a lot of good lack of endurance. Pulling up that brake. Just going to keep going in, and this is definitely might be doing better to see how second and third place driver is still going on to catch up on the Swanner Killer in first place in the Porsche 911 RSR. Alfa Romeo is definitely might be staying on the leading chase to catch up onto Porsche whenever it's going to need to take that chance to coming right back in onto the gold medal position. I hope P-Ball could probably have to do something because he might have to deal with the corners before focusing on the opponents, because this is definitely might be having a one important strategy tip when racing the competition. You're chasing a ghost like having a time trial practice. After they coming out at the hairpin, looks like this is going to be having a good leading chase out there for Alfa Romeo to catch up onto Porsche in first place. Passing on to sector 3, and this is going to be having that corkscrew corner. Will be coming in onto the right before taking the left by using the apex. So it looks like that we might have Turbo_Chaplin will be staying on in third place whenever it's going to need to keep it well guarded by taking the best spots. Everybody is going for it, and looks like I just got some a little bit more company, and it's simply_amazing in 8th place on the Toyota GR Super Racing concept. But this is definitely might be having an orange livery. Will be taking on a UDRS livery in the Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept. Gonna have to press forward by taking lap number 6, and it's going in to be having that first corner to be at the blind spots. That's the perfect spot for simply_amazing. The orange Toyota has overtakes UDRS in Sportec in the Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept. That makes me I'm going for it. It's all about having a good racing action. It's going to be tied up to be struggle on the ropes. Gonna take turn 2 before taking on for having turn 3 around. Just gonna move on into the next sector. Keep going on that sportsmanship rating will be increased, but this is gonna have to take a lack of skills to be reached up for only a 30-minute track limit. Use that apex before coming in onto the hairpin, pulling up that brake. Simply amazing. It's gonna have to take that best upper hand skills to take the advantage. It looks like this one might have to close in to reach up onto Gnome Pollux in 6th place in the Subaru WRX Group 3. Moving on to the 3rd sector, but that one might bring the leading trail to Toyota before bringing Mazda will be luring in. Sloping in onto that right before taking the left at the corkscrew. Gonna have to keep a good steady balance. That's more like it. Stay on the slipstream on Toyota for Mazda. This one might have a good fastest ways to do it. Take that full stretch. Moving on to lap number 7 before we're about to be taking on for only 11 laps to go. Gonna make sure this is gonna be having that perfect braking point. Try not to get a little bit too over aggressive. That probably get a little bit overwhelmed. There you go. So it looks like this is going to be good out there. And there you go, folks. That's the ticket for P-Ball 505 for taking the lead. Now, that is pretty good out there. Alfa Romeo is coming right back onto the lead to be having that gold medal position. So that one might bring Porsche in 2nd place. Swan Killer is now going to be in for the silver medal position. I hope Alfa Romeo is going to be reached up for the podium whenever he's going to need to take the chance. That was pretty excellent and pretty good job out there. So I hope many Alfa Romeo fans are really want to root for P-Ball 505 whenever he has to take the chance to win. And luckily, Porsche is going to have to take that strategy plan whenever he's going to need to come up for Swan Killer in 2nd place. That was pretty good and epic battle to see how Porsche and Alfa Romeo is taking on for this battle for the heart of the competition. So I hope this one might have People 505 will be taking the best chance to beat Swanna Killer's fastest lap. I hope this one might have to move on to the next lap. This is going to be very challenging for People 505, but I hope he can be able to beat Swanna Killer's fastest lap time by taking lap number 8, only 10 more to go. So the fuel capacity stats has definitely almost to be at nearly towards 50% left. I hope this one might have enough time out there, because this is going to have to take a little bit more circular skills to be taking on that tire pressure check. But make sure, starting out by having a racing medium compound tires will be doing the best choice. So make sure that having the racing hard compound tires by entering the pits will be doing the best ways to be required before taking on the finish line. So you'll be safe to be clear, and you'll be able to be well cleared to be moved on to the next round. Otherwise, by having a little bit more mistakes by using the same tire type, that will might end up for having a penalty to be dropped down to a different position. So use it wisely, and this is definitely might be giving some important tips just to be as usual. Still going up ahead for myself, taking the chase to reach up onto Simply_Almazing in 7th place for the Toyota GR Super Racing Concept. So it looks like he's about to be closing in onto Gnome Pollux in the Subaru WRX Group 3. I hope he's about to get ready to be well guarded defend before Toyota is about to be closed into the gap. Moving on to Sector 3 and take that right turn to be going in onto that part of the corkscrew. Just keep it nice and slow, and this is going to be having that good steady balance lock. 50% remaining fuel left on every Group 3 cars, folks, because this is going to have to take for only a few monitor checks before the number of laps will be going in by having an over effective time to be reached up at lap number 15. So take your time out there. Don't get yourself too stressed out, because every race, whenever you're going to need to take reminders, it's always about having some good organizing tips whenever we have to do what's best for the most. Now we're in lap number 9. Things will goes on to see it, and we have a 3rd place driver is about to be moving on to catch up onto Swanna Killer. EF_Racer is about to be taking on 3rd place. This will might have the best part to be achieving glory, because it's going to have to take for only a first stage to be having some progress to be on the tier. So I hope he can probably have to do it. This will might have the good wins whenever he's going to need to catch up onto Swanna Killer in 2nd place with a Porsche 911 RSR. It's going to be having some good technique flow lineups out there for having some good slipstream during the race. And everybody in the spectators are really want to see how the action goes on for having some very good epic dogfights has definitely might be going on. But competition has just barely yet simple, because everybody, whenever they want to take home the podium, it's going to be the only highest skill rank of drivers before taking on the pit stop is going to be the only first parts. So it looks like People 505 and Swanna Killer is the first one to be entered the pits. So this one might brings up for EF_Racer will be taking the lead, and that one might bring Turbo_Chaplin to be in 2nd place. X-Ghost 413X in the Honda NSX Group 3 is about to be moving on to take 3rd place. Now that was going to be the only early call out there to take that chance, while 2 drivers in 1st and 2nd place are about to be entering the pits. Well, somehow, I bet this is definitely might be doing the right thing by choosing the racing hard compound tires to be selected. That was the only important thing that we have to do what matters to take that good check on the tires. Just going to keep going in by taking turn 2. UDRS in Sport Tech is going to have to stay well guarded and doing by having a 5.4 seconds behind the gap from Ace_Speed1 in 9th place. But it's going to have to take a while, because ADC_Gameplay7 is going on to take that chase by entering Sector 2. Going to have to keep going by having that right turn to be at the hairpin. That should probably do it. Coming in onto EF_Racer, and Turbo_Chaplin is now going in by the ropes after taking on that Sector 3 at the corkscrew corner. So it looks like he's about to be going in by taking the final turn to be right in onto the outside before taking the inside. How could probably be imagined to see how good lined up directions for every Group 3 race car could probably have the good skills to be drive like a pro. Swanna Killer is about to be going into the pits, so looks like this is definitely might be having that racing car compound tires. So I hope he can probably might need to keep using the same tire type, and he's going right back onto the medium. Better make sure, Swanna Killer. We just need that racing hard compound tires, so you'll be safe for good. Now I'm coming right back onto 7th place. Just gonna need to take a while to reach up onto Gnome Pollux in 6th place in the Subaru WRX Group 3. Simply amazing overtakes Gnome Pollux is definitely might be going on by dropping down from 5th place to 6th place by taking a little bit dropping down. So looks like I just got a little bit more company. Mazda has been overtaken by Porsche. It's Swanna Killer. I hope I got him on sight. This is definitely might be having that good instant replay to have a good look on this one, because I just got him on the focus eye before taking on that hairpin. Just gonna make sure to keep a nice good slow steady precision for the RX Vision GT3 concept, and looks like this is definitely might be taking on that hairpin corner. Well, maybe this is definitely might be taking the good focusing part to see how the race might go on. Gotta have to keep it up. Now moving on to Sector 3, just going to keep a little bit more exercise caution, because late braking does not count, because we just wanted to have a good perfect braking point to be go in by doing the perfect inside. Just going to take that final corner, move on to the next lap, because we're currently on to the 11th lap before taking on to the 12th lap. This is going to have to take a lot of good speed out there. Make that good braking point to be at turn 1 at the blind corner. So this is definitely might be taking a little bit more risky to see some solutions. But I know braking lag is definitely might be having weaknesses for several GT players. Whenever each type of the controller, this is definitely might be the only ways to try to keep it well good movement response. Almost there, just going to need to keep it a little bit more careful on turn 2. Moving on to Sector 2, still going up to catch up onto Swanna Killer in 7th place for the Porsche 911 RXR, for having the Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept is still going in by taking the focus by dealing a lot of corners. And this one might have a fuel check for only 25% remaining. Now this is definitely might be pretty good to see how the battle might be going on to see it. But I hope Swanna Killer is going to have to take that comeback chase whenever he's going to need to get closer to the top 3 drivers. This one might have a few chance by enter the pits, so this will be doing his returning upper hand. Going in to take that final corner. I hope this is definitely might be taking a little bit more patient time out there. Several drivers are still going in for having the next lap. We'll be moving on before taking the pit stop. And here comes lap number 13. Let's do this, and let's just gonna keep it going, because this is definitely might be having a number of laps will be remaining. Just keep a good reminder check out there. We still got enough time before this race will be over soon. Take that turn 2, just going to use that apex. This is going to have to take a good correction turns for having InSportTech will be doing the action. There you go. Looks like this is going to be having a good steady line of flow technique. And looks like this is definitely might be having that good mobility out there. And oh man, looks like there it goes, folks. Looks like People 505 has now taken that recovery in 7th place after Swanna Killer overtakes. So let's just have to see how this replay might be going on. Well, cannot believe it. That was definitely had that chance out there for People. But looks like he's just definitely might be taking the first place to be at the first lap. But now he's just definitely might be dropped down onto 7th place. But I hope he can still get enough chance to catch up to any opponents, because Alfa Romeo never gives up to be part of the best moment to be in the manufacturer series. This is definitely might be a very good wide body style version of the 4C. It looks like we just got a 3rd place driver is about to be moving on to a different name. So it looks like simply _ Almazing is now on to 3rd. because he's about to be catching up onto X-Go Sport 13X in second place for the Honda NSX. I hope this is going to be good to see how Turbo_Chaplin is going in to take the lead. He can probably win in no time, folks. Turbo_Chaplin is about to be taking on for having his gold medal to be reached up at the podium. But hold the phone. Looks like this is going to be having a little bit more emergency problem out there for MacMorg 9501. Okay, that's better. Looks like this is definitely might be having that quality to be back on the green. Just hang in there, ninth place driver. Don't lose hope on us, because sometimes the quality effect should probably might need to have a better stable environment. We just always want to be on the green, but sometimes having a little bit contestant to be on the yellow and the trouble timing to be on the orange or red. But I know, we just really want to have this race to be very perfect to be part of this segment, because this is how Racing Opportunities was meant to be about, to have a good value support, to have the ways to see if the FIA really enjoys watching some good racing videos, including some esports videos has definitely might be quite very good, well, entertainment. Hold the phone. Looks like this is definitely might be pretty good. Paul Loganer 89 just barely beats Swanna Killer's fastest lap time, 1 minute and 33.211 seconds. Now that was pretty amazing. He did pretty good whenever he drives fast with a GT5 Citroen Group 3, so I hope he can probably have to take that single star to be well earned received. He's going in to take that fastest lap to be going in by the rush. Moving on to the 15th lap, it looks like this is going to be having that check on the fuel. This will be the time to use the fuel map instead. This is definitely might be pulling out in case of emergency during the competition. Going in to take turn 2. It looks like this is definitely might be Jerome Pollux in the Subaru WRX Group 3 is about to be coming in to overtake Massa. Gonna have to stay well defended. Now enters sector 2. Coming in onto the right. And that one might give an open space for Subaru by pulling the brakes. Pretty good job, and it looks like he's still not giving up on the chase. And here comes the hairpin. Gonna have to pull the brake and use that apex. There you go. Looks like this is definitely might be pretty good, well defended to see it. Now that is pretty good, excellent chase to see how Subaru is still trying to catch up onto Mazda. Only 9% remaining, folks. This is definitely might be having a little bit more alert signal. Just gonna go and slope in onto the corkscrew turn. Keep it, maintain the pace, and goes for a little increase. Take that final turn, and this is gonna have to take a good lineup to be into the pits. So that what might bring Subaru will be pressed forward. And here comes the tire changes to be using up on the racing car compound to be selected. Important tips, whenever we had to take a good one pit stop to use, we can probably have to take it all. Now I'm about to be coming out to the pits. This one might have an 8-second time to see it. This is going to be a pretty good pit strategy out there during this part of the competition. So now I'm currently dropped down onto 8th place, but it looks like Jerome Pollux is now taking on 7th place. So he's about to be coming in to catch up onto P-Paul 505 in the Alfa Romeo 4C. Gotta make sure to see how he can do it, because this is definitely might be pretty well endorsed by having a good nose favors, has definitely might be well entertained. So I'll have to make a good value support to Subaru in 7th place. He can probably have to catch up to Alfa Romeo in no time. And here comes the 16th lap, only 2 more laps to go. This race will be over soon for only 5 minutes, so take your time, and this is going to be having a good total amount. Whenever this race might be depends on whenever we had to do a 30-minute competition time. Just going to have to stay strong and don't lose a lot of good focus on the grip, because this is going to have to take a lot of good practice on the time trial before we have the good times to be starting out for a race. Gonna keep it nice and slow and take that apex before proceed to the final corner. It looks like 308281 in the Chevrolet Corvette C7 Group 3 is about to be coming in. Gonna have to be ready to defend. this is definitely might be having a good rightful spot out there to take that good company approach. So he's going in by taking the slipstream, take the 17 lap and pass that brake to be at turn 1 in the blind corner. Pretty good job for UTRS to stay on the line for having a good direction. But this one might have enough open gap distance by the space for 308281 will be going in by having a 1 second up ahead, but almost. But this one might make it for 9.9 seconds. Pretty good strategy skills to be on turn 2. But looks like 308281 is still not giving up. He could probably have to pass my current position because it's going to have to take a while to be having some good progression. Keep going at it. Make that hairpin to stay on the good aim at the apex. It looks like we have Turbo_Chaplin is now coming right back into the lead, and that one might bring Simply Almation, and X413X is now going into the pits. Now this is different, you might be having different changes to be in different cars, and oh boy, taking a little bit more single contact by the hits. Oh man, that was so close, and looks like 308281 just barely took a single contact hit for only 1 second penalty. I know this is different, you might be having a little risk by taking that corner, and that will might bring for a different position to be forced to slow down by crossing the penalty line. And here comes the final lap, folks. This race will be over soon. I hope this is going to have to take for only a few struggles to take. Just going to stay strong and keep going at it. HB_1 is now going in onto 10th place, and that will might bring Toyota Supra is about to be going in on 8th place. Aston Martin DB09 GT1 is taking the chase, followed by FT1 Vision Gran Turismo Group 3. Coming in onto turn 2, it looks like Macmore 9501 is stay well guarded to take on turn 2 before taking on to turn 3 by enter sector 2. He's going at it, folks. Looks like this is going to be a pretty good excited race to see how Supra is going to have to stay well guarded to finish. I hope HB1 is going to have to catch up to Macmore. This is going to be a pretty good excited race. And here comes the final stretch out there. Turbo_Chaplin is going to have to take that last stretch. I hope he can do it. This is going to be pretty good. Excited to see it out there. And I cannot believe it. It's going in for this one. Turbo_Chaplin takes the win. He has successfully won first place in the 15 round in the 2020 series manufacturer series. Turbo_Chaplin won the race. Hold on. What's going on? I think there is something going on out there. This has definitely not surprising. And wait, Simply_Almazing just finally reached first place automatically by default, and that one might bring Swanna Killer in second place. X413X takes third place. What in the most unexpected surprising race ever of all time, and oh man, that was so close for the 10th place driver, and that one might be bringing in to see the very first best part to be in the finish line. What in the most excited race ever of all time. So looks like this is definitely might be having a 1 minute penalty for Turbo_Chaplin. Gotta make sure to use the racing hard tires next time for having a different race. So that one might ends up to be at the bottom position, folks. So looks like we did pretty good, and we did very well to have a nice, good, challenging race for having a good time for doing this part of the competition. So that's how I just barely did for having a moment. Taking 9th place at the finish is going to be taking the hard part whenever we had to do the best we can. Proven to be a fastest driver for Mazda. What in the most excited race ever of all time to take part in the 30-minute challenge. So let's just going to go over and have some earning summaries that we just did pretty well. Nothing else that we didn't get a chance to have a good clean race. We did practically well, doing a good job out there for the 15 round, folks. So it looks like Apollo GNR89 in the GT Bot Centurion race car Group 3 is definitely might be did pretty well out there for taking the 12th lap for only a fast lap for 1 minute and 33.211 seconds. So this one might have some response out there on the check history. So looks like 308281 is apologizing to me at sector 3 before taking on that corner because, well, I know respectful to be having the best ways whenever we have to try to make a good response by dealing a lot of good corners. Anyway, so this one I had to go over to simply_amazing for having a good ways to congratulate. Well, anyway, he was trying to follow me because this is definitely might be having that leading chase. Anyhow, it was a pretty good race, and this wheel might have to be going on for having a good replay to be part of the highlights. Round 16 is coming up, and the next race is going to be at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps for having a Group 4 category in the first part. Do your best out there, folks. This will be having a regular race, plus a top 16 superstars will be included. Alright folks, I hope you really enjoyed watching the race. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads, and the links on the description down below if you want to see more. Livery blog videos are available to watch anytime you want. This will be the entertainment showcase about different cars with liveries I have been made. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for continuing in the 2020 series manufactured series on Gran Turismo Sport, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay clean.